Hello everybody and welcome back on my channel. Today we're going to do a brokerage account overview for Germany for March 2020. Let's get right to it. First of all, we're going to compare Comdirect, Consorsbank, DKB, ING, Onvista Bank, Flatex, Degiro, Smartbroker, Gratisbroker, Trade Republic and Just Trade. Those are the ones currently available in Germany. There are more, but for now we're going to stick to those 11. I'm telling you up front, I don't take any liability or responsibility for the reflected data in this table. And I'm also telling you that the full PDF is available as a download down below in the video description. We are not going to look at every data point in here, but just at the summaries. I will tell you about the pitfalls, so what you have to look out for, and please also keep in mind that this is just an overview that I'm breaking down for the average Joe. So there might be better offerings even with these specific brokerage accounts for younger people or for older people or people with specific circumstances, but please keep in mind I'm not counting on these special offers. I'm trying to breaking it down for the average Joe. So if you have personal requirements, then you should definitely download the PDF and look at the specific points that are relevant to you. Yeah, I'm going to compare it for out of this perspective of the normal buy and hold investor. Okay, so let's get right into the pitfalls first. Pitfall number one would be custodian fees. Custodian fees and interests on offset accounts. As for example here with FlatX. Pitfall number one, look out for that. It might not be very relevant to you if you don't have big amounts on your offset account anyway, then you might be able to bear that, especially if you consider that therefore the other offerings with this brokerage account are less expensive, but keep that in mind. Pitfall number 2 or 3 is the flat rate withholding tax handling. So for example with Degiro, and I guess that's the only one out of this comparison, they don't handle your taxes, so you have to handle your taxes on your own, and they are not doing anything for you. So this is pitfall number 2. And then maybe pitfall number 3 is minimum orders. So you have to have a minimum order of at least 500 euro in this case, for example. Otherwise you will not be able to make an order. So you cannot make a 100 euro order, for example. This is pitfall number 3. And potentially pitfall number 4 is Trade Republic does not offer a website to trade on. They only offer trading via their app. So if you don't have a cell phone or if you're not comfortable with that, that might be another pitfall for you. But I guess it's a minor one anyway. Okay, let's get into the summaries already. So one more general point. This table is split into 2 parts, divided by this section here. And I guess you can generally say those ones are the little bit more premium brokers, and those ones on the right here, those are the limited but cheap brokers, I could call them, especially FlatX and Degiro and even Smartbroker. They also have a kind of broad assortment, but they are limited in some other way, as we saw with the interest on offset accounts or the custodian fee, for example. Doesn't necessarily mean they are bad for you, okay? Keep that in mind. So let's get into the summaries already. Summary for Comdirect. Good points. Pros. No maintenance fees. What I mean with maintenance fees is no interest on offset account and no custodian fee. Okay? That's what I mean by maintenance fee. Secondly, no minimum size of order. We just talked about that. Then free and many ETF savings plans. You can see that over here. Those are the free ETF savings plans. And then you have even more ETF savings plans that are not completely free. Then we got stock saving plans with Comdirect. So you, for example, for Amazon stock, you can just buy 100 euros of Amazon stock, and this is really good because otherwise you would have to pay like, I don't know, $1,200 for one share of Amazon, and some people would not be able to make this order in 1 month, for example. So this is interesting, and I think stock saving plans also give you the possibility to just order. Basically, you can also order fractions of stocks within a stock saving plan. Of course, for 100 euros, then you would get 1/10 of Amazon stock. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. Broad assortment. Con is relatively expensive. Yeah, in general speaking. Yeah. Next off is Consorsbank. It's basically exactly the same as Comdirect. There are some differences, especially with their general fee, yeah. Or I don't really, yeah, they might have other ETF savings plans. Yeah, they have a little bit like 5 cent higher fee here, but generally speaking, Comdirect, Consorsbank, for the average Joe, without special offers, they basically have the same fee model currently. Moving on to DKB. DKB also has no maintenance fees, just like Consorsbank and Comdirect. Then no minimum size of order. Again, many ETF savings plans. And a broad assortment again. Then it's again relatively expensive. It's actually for the average order a little more expensive, like 5 cents, than Consorsbank and Comdirect. 10 euro instead of 9.95 or 9.90. And there are no completely free ETF savings plans over here. So there are some cheap ones for 50 cents, or 49 cents. But no completely free ones. And they don't offer stock savings plans here. Moving on to ING. No maintenance fees, no minimum size of order, free and many ETF savings plans here and here. Stock savings plans here. Broad assortment. Alright or even good pricing compared to others with broad assortment. I'm basically talking about this section down here. But not so many free ETF savings plans. It's just 64. Here it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for just the like MSCI World or some Vanguard ETFs. And if they are included in those 64, then you don't have to worry anyway. If you're looking for something else, something more specialized, then you might have to pay a small amount for the other savings plans. Then moving on to Onvista, no maintenance fees again, no minimum size of order, some ETF savings plans, 155, broad assortment again, all right pricing compared to others with broad assortment, and their ETF savings plans, I can say from personal experience, are consistent. So some of the other even premium brokerage accounts, they tend to change their free ETF savings plans from time to time. So if you're starting off with, let's say, DKB, and you're saving on, or actually they don't have any free ones, so let's say ING. So if you're starting off with ING and saving on Vanguard, All Country World, and next year it's not a free ETF with ING anymore, then you have a problem, or it's not even ETF savings plans anymore, what is not very likely but possible. And from this regard, I can say that Onvista is very consistent in their offering, but of course their offering was also not so huge with 155 ETF savings plans. And again, no completely free ETF savings plans, they are all €1. It's a little bit pricier than ING, below 1K, I'm referring to those numbers here, but it's cheaper than ING above 1K. So again, your personal situation, your personal monthly ordering behavior, I cannot tell you which is the better one for you. Coming to the cons, no free ETF savings plans, just I talked about that. No stock savings plans, this is could also be important to you, and no app trading. And as many people would say, ungainly website design. Getting into the limited but cheap brokers, or somehow limited. Starting off with Flatex, no minimum size of order, which is good of course, many ETF savings plans, where are we, 412, broad assortment, relatively cheap for broad assortment. Coming to the cons, you have maintenance fees, custodian fee and interest on offset account. No real free ETF savings plans, so they offer free ETF savings plans, but you still have to pay some ATC, additional trading costs, and they are on average, depending on the specific ETF, 0.2%, which is, I don't know, it's a little bit complicated, and it's not completely free. Okay, this is just what I'm saying here. And then no stock saving plans. Moving on to Degiro, no maintenance fee, which is good. No minimum size of order, good as well. Free and many ETF savings plans, referring to this number over here, 200. Broad assortment, I don't know, I'm thinking of number 4. Really cheap for broad assortment. It's like really cheap, but coming to the downsides, no flat rate withholding tax handling. So you have to do your taxes on your own. Out of this overview, it's the only one where you have to do your taxes on your own, but therefore it's very cheap. No real automatic ETF savings plans. So normally the sense of ETF savings plans or savings plans in general is that it's automated and you don't really have to do anything. For Degiro, you have to do something. It's free, but you have to do it manually. That's what I'm saying. We will have that again with 2 or 3 other brokers. Then again, no stock savings plans. Moving on to Smartbroker. No minimum size of order. free and many ETF savings plans. There's numbers down here. Broad assortment, then a few German stock savings plans. This number right here. Potentially maintenance fees. I'm referring to this negative 0.5% interest on offset accounts, but only if your cash ratio, so the ratio from your offset account to the portfolio value is bigger than 15%. So it might not even be a real con. If you're below that, your decision, your circumstances. Then no app trading and no American stock savings plans. Yeah. Moving on to Gratisbroker. No maintenance fees, which is nice. Free and many ETF savings plans. I'm referring to this number over here, and you can already see, same with Degiro, it's not automatic but free, so you have to do it manually. Then I'm just checking, few German stock savings plans is wrong, of course. This is still stuck from Smartbroker, so get rid of that. So of course no stock saving plans. Then basically free, that's what it says. Gratisbroker is free brokerage account in German, or in English translated from German. Then what we have here is a minimum size of order, 500 euros minimum order. But if you are above those 500, you are able to trade here with Gratisbroker, and then it's completely free. Only one exchange, so limited assortment, exchanges Getex in Munich. No real automatic ETF savings plans, we just talked about that, and no stock savings plans, again, we just corrected that. Moving on to Trade Republic. No maintenance fees, no minimum size of order, all ETF savings plans are free, and it's 323. Easy fee model, I think their fee model fits into one A4 page, so this was really easy for me to understand and to put into this table, and I guess it's also going to be really easy for you. It's really cheap. Basically every transaction is €1 except for the ETF savings plans, which are completely free. Only one exchange, so that's a con. Limited assortment. No desktop trading another app. No desktop trading, app only, another con. And no stock savings plans, a third con. And last but definitely not least, Just Trade. Summary is free and many ETF savings plans, about 1,500. Okay assortment, so we have a few exchanges, and it's basically free, just like Gratisbroker, but you have a minimum size of order, again 500, and you have maintenance fees because of the interest on your offset account. And then again, no real automatic ETF savings plan, so you have to do it manually, but then it's free. And no stock savings plans, at least for now, right? So this is the summary of all 11 German brokerage accounts that are compared here, and I would say that those are the most famous and most commonly used ones, especially talking about the more premium ones on the left here. If you would ask me to give you a really general advice on which one to pick now. Relying on this data displayed here in the table, I would say ING is a general good choice in terms of pricing, in terms of assortment, in terms of possibilities. That would be the more premium option. If you really want to go cheap, I would recommend, based off this data currently, Trade Republic, because it's easy to understand, €1 per transaction, but of course limited assortment. Speaking of ETFs and exchanges, but yeah, now you got to find out what fits to you. Also, feel free to download the PDF down below or ask any question in the comments. Also, let me know if there is any mistake in here. I'm glad to help you out. And now please make your decision. And I hope this overview and video helped you a little bit. And remember, just be lekker. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.